Matthew, I imagine in your heart of hearts, maybe you didn't expect to come here and get a win, but what sort of aims and objectives did you set for the team?
Yeah, I think we come with a purpose to definitely win the footy game, and to do that we had to be in the game from a contested ball point of view, ground balls, and give ourselves an opportunity to get enough on the inside 50s. We hit 2 of those targets with our contested ball. I think we're +5 on the night. Ground balls were a +4 or 5 on the night, but the inside 50 sway, the connection once we got the ball to the outside just wasn't the same level as Brisbane's. Whenever they got the ball to the outside off a contest win, they were pretty fluent with their ball movement, or won a long down the line contest, and we weren't able to establish field position off our contest wins at times, or our pressure. So yeah, we come with an attitude that we wanted to be better in a few areas and have some small wins, but the inside 50 count and supply was still an issue on the night. That's the way, the summation of the game, and I think their contest to contest work was just superior. I think our first phase contest we got the ball out at times, but then the next couple of contests Brisbane were able to sort of link a spoil in and then get some play off that, and then take the ball 80, 90 metres at times with some nice ball use. So yeah, I thought the polish once the ball got to the outside was a stark difference between the two teams.
So is that just where the teams are? You've brought a depleted midfield here to play against a very good midfield in the wet, and you've basically matched them in contested ball and clearances.
Yep.
Yet you've been smashed on the scoreboard and couldn't get the ball forward.
Yeah. When I think couldn't get the ball forward, we were 29 points down into the game. We gave away a 50-metre penalty, which hurt us, and we probably had a little bit of momentum in that period, and then they really got on top as the game went on. Like the last sort of, I suppose, 30 minutes of the game, we were hanging on, but they really started to get their legs running and covering the ground, and it became a bit tough in the end. But I thought the boys hung tough. They hung in there, and I think you could clearly see the group was up for the contest tonight and up for the pressure, and we've got to keep establishing that and get more polished on the outside.
Do you expect anyone back next week, Matthew, that you can say with any degree of certainty?
I'd like to say with a degree of certainty, but it's a bit difficult at the moment. It's just see how the players play and how they come out of the health and safety protocols and how they pull up from injury this coming week with some of the players that did miss this week, and with some of them they have further investigation on their injuries. So, we'd hope we could have sort of 3 or 4 available to play next week, but it'd be remiss of me to sort of say who they were, because then, until we get out on the training track next week, it's tough.
In terms of cumulative margin, that's the worst 4-week stretch in the club's history now, about 330 points. Does it feel like a huge hole you're in? What does it feel like in the Premier's to come next week as well?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, under no illusions, when we go back to work on Monday, we've got to get better, and it doesn't feel good to lose by those margins. But as I said, I thought the players really locked in tonight. It blew out late, but we just couldn't sustain our methods, sustain the contest and the pressure for long enough in that contest to contest work. So we've got to go back to work and get better. The history stuff, I understand what you mean, but it's sort of, at the moment, we've got to just piece our days together and just get better every day, rather than worrying too much about the element of the last 4 weeks.
You didn't put Josh Rotham's magnet on the whiteboard next to Charlie Cameron for a punishment, did you?
No, a big job tonight, yeah. And I thought, he took some good marks. Charlie's an unbelievable player. Watching the last few weeks, just his crumbing and his goal sense, plus his pressure, like Charlie Cameron's pressure in the last 2 to 3 weeks has been something else. So, he's travelling really well, as they are as a team. They blew Sydney away last week. They're obviously right in that sweet spot, and they're in the top echelon. And as I said, we've got to go back to work and crave to be a team like them again. And that's what we're here for, and that's why we come here to win tonight, because we want to compete and win.
Did you speak to Rotham about the nightclub situation, and did you feel like his head was in the game and ready to play and that sort of thing?
No, other people are in the right places and that control that element of the investigation, which will be investigated further next week. We'll take care of that. I was here to coach a football team and do that to the best of my ability and give the boys enough belief and energy to play the game at a high level tonight. So, no, that'll be taken care of next week by the appropriate people, and I'll get back to work with the coaching.
plenty of good mids out there tonight, and Florenko had the most contested possessions in the game at half-time. What did you make of his effort?
Yeah, I was proud of his effort, Jake. I met Jake for the first time a couple of days ago. I was lucky enough to watch some vision with him, with our recruiters, and then were able to, the proud moment to give him his first game. So to will himself in the contest against Neil, McCluggage, Zorko, Lyons, two big ruckmen. They've got going with Fort and McInerney. So, I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him. And I thought Jamison probably affirmed what we wanted to see tonight out of a young ruckman that come in and I thought got his hand on ball and competed really well and did some nice things around the ground. So for Harry Edwards and Jamo to take on McInerney and Fort, it's a good lesson for them. A lesson in the fundamentals and the way you go about your ruck craft, but I thought they didn't shy away from the contest. So we're really happy with Jamo tonight.
So with someone like Florenko to come in like that, obviously hasn't had the summer with your setups, your game plan, all that type of stuff. And he's had very limited preparation. But what does it say about what's potentially available for you there in the Waffle in that sort of demographic? Yeah,
I think it's an exciting element, the Waffle Eagles and the Waffle itself. It's to discover players, and I've seen it previously through the VFL at Geelong and players that have come through that system. So there's always opportunities for young men to come through and thrive in the AFL, and if they're willing to lock in and be professional, be diligent about the way they go about their work and aspire, I think there's plenty of opportunity. So for Jake to come in to do that tonight was good. We give Redden the job on Neil, and I thought he endeavoured to do it to the best of his ability for the team, and the boys really supported him on that one. But the overwhelming element of the depth of their midfield eventually told. But again, clearances were +1. Contested ball was pretty equal between the arcs. I think forward of the football, we might have lost contest by -15 in our front half. So when we did go in our front half, we weren't able to establish any delay on the ball or hit the scoreboard. So against quality teams, you need some delay on the ball inside your 50, otherwise it's going to come out with interest at times, and probably happened a bit too many times tonight.
How did you say Redden Neil? Because Redden got a fair bit of it too, so it was more than just a lockdown, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we felt that it was a lockdown, but we felt that Reddo, if he had the opportunity to win the ball, we wanted him to, because that's the best way you can hurt these champion players of the game. That if you can do body work and then get some ball off them, well, you get some productivity the other way. But again, Neil's in mid form. He was near close to best on ground last week against the Swans. Watched the game closely. So yeah, they've got a group that are in their sweet spot, and they're playing great footy, and we're certainly not at that level.
And just on yourself, many years since you've been in the hot seat, how did you find it? Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a quite unique situation, but I felt the relationship with the playing group was good. On this weekend, I got amazing support from all the coaches and support staff that have been amazing the last sort of 48 hours since Simo gave me a call about 6:15 on Thursday morning to say that he'd be missing the game. So it was a pleasure. I'm very proud to be able to coach the Eagles tonight and chop out for Simo. And then he'll be back on deck sooner rather than later. So I felt calm and felt relaxed, and really enjoyed my time back in the coach's box.
So was Simo on the phone or text or anything, or how did that work?
Yeah, we had some communication with Simo at different stages through the night, but he was really good in the sense that he wanted to, occasionally if he needed to contact us he would, but he was very clear that he just wanted the coaching group to take care of business tonight, and hand the reins over to myself, which I respect that, and it's very difficult when you're sitting in your lounge room compared to at the ground. But yeah, that was pretty natural, and that's the way it worked.
And so the plan is for him to coach next week?
Yes. I don't know exactly the days and the protocols, but yeah, the plan is for him definitely to coach next week and be back at the club as soon as possible. Said in my press conference the other day, he's led the club wonderfully well through a difficult time, so he'll be back on deck sooner rather than later.
Have you had a word to the players yet?
Yes, I did. I spoke to the players post-match, and I spoke to them about the themes in regards to we give ourselves an opportunity to be in the game with our contested ball, our ground balls, our pressure, but we weren't able to establish anything on the outside and forward of the ball. I said the Lions on the flip side were able to sort of have their full gamut of their game going. both on inside and outside. So that's our challenge.
And just with what you missed on the outside, was that more personnel, or is that issues to do with fitness and legs and that?
Yeah, I think a mixture of everything, but just that synergy of once we get out, then piecing the next kick together or the next handball, and then gets you out into space and allows the player with the ball to make a good decision, whether he wants to go deep or hit someone on the lead. But we just haven't quite got that synergy with that composure. We're a bit rushed at the moment once we get into those situations. So again, it's just back on the training track and working on those elements so that we can actually, once we get the ball to the outside, we can actually hurt teams and make them pay. Because at the moment we're not able to do that.